What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to welcome you all to another edition of Wayne's Perspective, where we operate in discipline, decency, integrity, and respect. And I'm coming through with another video just for you. Before I get started, I hope everyone is doing okay out there, taking every day one day at a time. As for me, y'all know how I do. I'm doing pretty good over here. Can't complain too much. I'm also taking every day one day at a time, living life the best way I know how as well. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and get started with today's video. After making a name for themselves on Warren G's debut, Regulate G-Funk era, it was time for the twins, Waniac and Trip Loc, to bless the hip-hop world with their brand of G-Funk, courtesy of their 1995 debut album, Conversation, which was released 30 years ago today, August 22nd, 1995. And just like I did in the previous videos where I celebrated 30 years with Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links and the show soundtrack respectively, y'all know I got a story for y'all, so I'm going to tell that right quick before I get into the album. At this point, I had already started the 6th grade, and I believe this was either the middle of September 95, the latter part of the month, or the beginning of October. Me and my dad was set for another weekend together, and he already let me know beforehand that he was going to take me to Circuit City and he was going to get a tape for me. No problem. And of course, my mom, she was already in my ear saying, your daddy can get you a tape. It just better not have had that parental advisory sticker on it. And of course, me being me, I paid that no mind because I was going to get what I wanted anyway. And my daddy was buying it for me too. So, no problems. So that Saturday came, and we went to the same Circuit City that he took me to when I got that show soundtrack. And again, at this point, I was 11 years old. And when I went into that Circuit City, y'all, I had no idea what tape I was going to get. And I had my pick from anything at that time. It just so happens that I landed on the Twins Conversation tape. And keep in mind, this was not on my radar. I had not told myself that I was going to get this or anything like that. I just happened to grab it in a random choice. And that was it. You know, I like the album. And of course, like I said, I'm going to talk about that. I had the tape for the longest time until I got the CD about a couple of years later. But yeah, I was satisfied with this purchase, even though it was a random one. I liked it. When I went back home, one of the first questions that my mom hit me with was, what tape did you get? Now, I didn't show it to her. I just said, I just got the twins, mom. And she just said, oh, okay. Now, she had no idea who the twins were. Neither did she ask any questions. She didn't ask to see the tape. And that album did have the parental advisory sticker on it, but that was it. And like I said, thankfully, she asked no questions, and I went on from there. I just thought I'd share that story with y'all. And again, much credit to my daddy for turning me on to hip hop, because if not for him, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and get right into the album. All of these songs were produced by Warren G except one, which I'm going to touch on. Plus, every song on the album is 4 out of 5, with the exception of one, and I'm going to touch on that too. I'm also going to skip the interludes and just focus on the individual songs. We start things with Round and Round, the album's first single. Twins got the sound that go round and round. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like the majority of the songs on this album, this joint has that unmistakable, laid-back, smooth G-funk sound that was a staple in West Coast hip-hop in the mid-90s. Dope song. Next up is the aptly titled Good Times, and this is one of those songs where if Waniac and Trip Loc were to play it today, it'll definitely take them back to certain moments in time, especially 1995, as well as the times they had prior to getting their record deal. I like songs like that. Next up is my favorite song on the album. That would be Four Eyes, Two Heads, which was produced by Priest Brooks. This bass-driven track was suitable for the guys, and this is something that I would call, quote-unquote, a day in the life of the twins. It's a classic, and this is the only song on the album that I give a 5 out of 5 rating. The G-Funk dopeness continues with Jump to This, a joint that does make you just want to jump up and bounce. It's that good. We continue on with the album's second single, Eastside LB, featuring Warren G. He defined this laid-back song well when he said, ain't no party like a Eastside party, cause a Eastside party ain't no joke. You see, everything on the West Coast wasn't all tense, and to balance things out, Waniac and Trip let you know it was all about having fun and living life. Next up is Sorry I Kept You, which also features Warren G. Ain't no wrong with getting your hustle on all night. Next up is Sorry I Kept You, which also features Warren G. Ain't no wrong with getting your hustle on all night long, cause you gotta survive to stay alive. He also used some classic Arabian Rakim samples, courtesy of My Melody, and I Know You Got Soul and a Nice Touch. The next song up is Journey With Me, which featured Bo Rock from the Dove Shack on the hook. Lay on back, fire up a sack, and peep my conversation. I mean, it was real smooth. And what also made this work so well was Waniac and Trip rapping as if they were having a direct conversation with the listeners. Tight song. Next up is Hollywood featuring John Skills and Neb with additional vocals by Nancy Fletcher, who was also on a couple other songs on the album. She's on her way, about to get paid, but never turning Hollywood. He's on his way, about to get paid, but never turning Hollywood. Yeah. All involved were aiming for the success that hip hop could bring, but even at this point in 95, they weren't willing to turn Hollywood, i.e., go mainstream to get the job done. And this wasn't the first or the last song to touch on that. Warren G then appears again on the next song, First Round Draft Pick, and probably for the first time on the album, the twins get a little aggressive, but they still maintain a laid-back style throughout, which is appreciated. Next up, we have Don't Get It Twisted featuring New Birth, and this is one of those appropriately titled songs aimed at the ladies that I often liked, which talks about women who wouldn't give you the time of day in the past, but when you become successful, they want to come out of the woodwork like everything is all good and the previous things didn't happen. Whatever, man. And to close the album, we get Pass It On featuring Warren G and Folsom, a song that the smokers should still love today. In the end, with 14 songs of G-Funk, East Long Beach dopeness, the twins, they came through with an excellent full mic album. One of the main reasons I always like this album is because of the true laid-back sound that it has, and that's something that we really don't hear anymore, whether it's East Coast, West Coast, down South, Midwest, it doesn't matter. We don't hear laid-back hip-hop like this anymore. And while it was listed in the Source Magazine's 1995 year-end review issue as one of the best albums that year, it was slept on when it came out, and you can attribute that to little or no promotion from Def Jam, plus the timing of the release is everything. And like I've always said, 1995 was a stacked year, my favorite year in hip-hop history, but I do feel that it came out at the right time. If this came out in 1996, which was just as stacked as 1995 was, it likely would have fell even more under the radar, I think. And after this release, they still would do guest appearances here and there, but for all intents and purposes, Conversation would mark their one and only album to this very day. They did release or announce an EP with help from Snoop Dogg called Snoop Dogg Presents the Twins, the Loke EP, and I'm not even sure if that ever saw the light of day. Y'all let me know in the comments if that ever came out, because if it did, I'll check it out. But as far as I know, it never saw the light of day. And of course, y'all, we're not ending right there. What I have in my hands right now is the September 1995 issue of the Source magazine with Mike Tyson on the front, the same issue that did a review of Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links. A reviewer by the name of Wesley K. Marshall did a review of the Twins Conversation album, and I'm going to go ahead and read this verbatim. As the latest from the G-Funk family to floss onto the hip-hop scene, the Twins deviate from the normal procedure of just kicking tight lyrics over fat tracks. They create their own niche by staying funky, but at the same time, incorporating a smoothness that tops any G-Funk LP to date. These identical brothers from Long Beach hooked up with their childhood partner Warren G on his debut LP, but now with their own album, they're going for theirs. Most of the production is handled by the G-Child, but additional flavor is added from Dr. Dre, Daz, and newcomer Priest, who make sure the LP doesn't miss a beat. It's safe to assume that the heavily demanded sound from the LBC will continue its legacy, as street beats are fused with R&B harmonies, and lyrically Waniac and Trip Loke come off in a major way. For the most part, Warren G does oversee all of the production on this album, so if Dre and Daz and Priest did anything, it was more or less a supervisory role. Now, Priest did do Four Eyes, Two Heads, but basically, you could say that Warren G did all the production on this album. I just wanted to throw that in there. It starts with Round and Round, a smooth groove that gives listeners an in-depth, braggadocious introduction to the twins, and should wake those who have slept on the MC skills of G-Funketeers. They keep the dopeness coming on Good Times, where they converse about the homies just lounging, playing bones, drinking, smoking, and kicking it. The track follows the G-Funk formula as it comes with a mellow bass line and a blend of R&B melodies combined with harmonious vocals. The next few tracks are dope and get more better on Journey With Me, which could be the LP's sleeper. It starts out with the fat lyrical drenching from Trip Loke, who teases your eardrums by flowing over sparse background instruments. Before you know it, a rough bass line comes in, making the track too hard to consider a ballad, but smooth enough to make your head sway. As you proceed to the latter part of the LP, some would become restless as the tracks begin to sound synonymous and predictable. I kind of disagree with that. The remedy is to rewind and start the dopeness all over again. The conversation being kicked is nothing complex or new, and whether it will have the same impact as its predecessors remains to be seen. But at a time when G-Funk is jocked at any chance, the twins impressed by still being able to stand out. They will easily make their mark by adding subtle variations to a sound that is craved by millions. And Mr. Marshall, he also gave this 4 mics, and I agree with that rating. And that was a very good review right there. You can't argue with the majority of what he said. And again, this was a good album. I still play it to this day. And as a matter of fact, when I finish this video, I'm probably going to listen to a few songs myself. And on that note, y'all, we're going to go ahead and close the video right here. It was good talking about this. Once again, it was good sharing the memories and the stories. And like I said, when I finish this video, I'm definitely going to throw the CD in. If you like what you heard and you're ready to become part of Team Discipline, go ahead and hit that like button and drop some comments if you're feeling the content. Definitely let me know your thoughts on this album, as well as the twins overall. And last but not least, hit that subscribe button along with the bell so you're notified when I drop new videos. And one more thing, y'all. I know that today, Ghostface Killah dropped Supreme Clientele 2, and in one word, it's incredible. I'm definitely going to listen to it again. I'm definitely going to drop a video more than likely talking about the album. I may do a full review on my medium.com page, but it should come as no surprise. I like the album, and if nothing else changes between now and December 31st, 2025, that's going to be my pick for best album of this year. Until the next video, y'all, take care, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one.